What's up, my peeps? I hope everyone's having a good 24. Um, oops, excuse me. I just wanted to do a video today on something that has really helped me, and it's only actually come into my life probably in the last year and a bit. Uh, it's called being stoic or stoicism. Now, when I heard the term stoic before, I used to just think like, someone who say for example someone married for 100 years 50 years and they lose their wife and they're very stoic, they're not crying, they're holding it in, they're they're not emotional, but they just are rock. But that is partly true, but there's so much more to it, and I owe a lot to my cousin Grigoris Samantanis in Greece, who actually introduced this to me. This goes back to ancient Greece, philosophers who, back then they didn't really know much about what the world was or what was going on, and they were just trying to figure out, you know, their place in the world. So I came across this video, and I thought we'd watch it together, and I'd explain how Stoicism and recovery both collided and made myself and the life much more enjoyable. So let's go and start now.
Who are you spending time with? Goethe says, show me who you spend time with and I will tell you who you are, right? Seneca talks about spending time with people who make you a better person. My dad said to me as a kid, you become like your friends. Well, the question is, are you spending time with people who are averaging you towards where you want to go, or are they averaging you away from where you want to go? This is a question that can lead to some hard decisions. People that you're going to spend less time with. Who are you seeing after work? Who are you reading? Who are you talking to? The people we spend time with are either going to make us better, they're going to make us worse, or they're going to keep us exactly who we are, which is either a good thing or a very bad thing.
That's a huge thing. Um, Many things. Birds of a feather flock together. You are the company you keep kind of idea, and but it goes much deeper than that too. For me, for example, I have a couple nephews in British Columbia that I've never really met. Briefly here and there, I've seen, but and in the summertime, my mom called me and asked me to let my nephew come and live here, and I was like, well, I'll have to think about it. I'll have to talk to my partner about it, and we'll have to think about it. Anyway, a week or two later, or whatever time it was, she came back and she goes, just tell me yes or no, the truth. Do you want him there or not? And I had to be truthful, and I had to say no. And I haven't talked to my mom since. And she's disowned me, but she doesn't understand. And Stoicism, what it teaches me is that I can't I can't change my mom's mind. The only thing I can do is lead my life as an example of what for others of how I think my life. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to explain. I just have to continue on. You just have to cut that out and just continue on. Whether it's a spouse, whether it's a mom, a dad. If people are toxic, you just have to cut them out of your life, and then put in place people who are positive, who reinforce your qualities, your values, your morals. I am a loner. Like, I don't know, most of my life I spent alone. Like, to be honest, I don't really like a lot of people. I like to be by myself because I don't trust people, and I like it that way. I trust Barb, I trust a few people, and they've always been in my life, and they know who they are, but I'm not a social person in that respect. I don't do parties. I don't do, I just don't like fakeness. You know what I mean? I like realness. And anyway, that's 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 me.
Is this in my control? Epictetus says this is the key question. This is the chief task of the philosopher in life, which is separating the things that are up to us from the things that are not up to us. And so much of the time and energy we spend in this life are on things that are not up to us, that are not in our control. It just started raining. I don't need to have an opinion on the fact that it's raining because it's not in my control. But what is in my control is what I'm going to do, right? What's in our control is our actions, our thoughts, our opinions, right? And so the Stoic learns to tune out what's not in our control, and it focuses on what is in our control. And so we ask ourselves about everything we experience, everything we're feeling, everything we're working on. Is this up to me? Or am I throwing good energy after bad? Am I beating myself against the wall that's never going to move?
If anybody's ever done anything in recovery, there's a very famous poem called the Serenity Prayer. It goes like this: God, or your higher power, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That is exactly what he is talking about here. There are things that are out of control. I can't control COVID. I can't control people's opinions of me. I can't control whether people do the right thing. I can't control, I can only control me. And I really thought about that. And I have a daughter that's in addiction. And I thought, I used to always say, do this, don't do that. I did this. And I thought, what the heck am I doing? I got to lead by an example. I got to show, not talk, but show. And that's what I'm doing. And, this, I can't tell you how much this philosophy has really affected me. Like, it's okay. Like, I still love my mom. I love her with all my heart. But I know that I can't talk to her right now. Like, there's that toxicity. And until that leaves, there's no sense. So that's what Stoicism taught me. Before, I'd be in a depression. I'd be, oh, my mom's gonna die and she's not gonna know I love her and blah blah blah. But you know what? That's just BS. This is love is love. Love is eternal, and I believe that our brains and our emotions can get between our relationships and but deep down inside, it's just like if a mother or son or a daughter and father aren't talking, the love is still there, but it's just a conflict right now that they don't know how to resolve. So the only way they know how to is just ignore each other. And, it's sad, but, our life is not about them. It's about us. And it's about our journey and not their journey. So in another thing they say in recovery is it's a selfish program. You got to put yourself first. And that's true. It is really true.
What does your ideal day look like? A life, Seneca says, is made up of days. Andy Dillard said, how we spend our lives is, of course, how we spend our days, right? What does an ideal day look like for you? How are you trying to design your life? If you don't know what a good day is like, what your ideal is, then you're just going to be working on making more money, acquiring more fame, getting more power or influence. You have to ask yourself, is this getting me closer or further away from the life that I want? I've talked about how I know exactly what my ideal day looks like. It's a Saturday where I wake up early, I work out, I do a little bit of writing, I spend lots of time with my family, I have time to think. I haven't signed myself up for a bunch of pointless obligations or phone calls or meetings. I spend time outdoors, I'm connected, I'm present. And so I have to look at each opportunity then that comes along any day and ask myself, is it getting me closer or further away from the kind of life I want to lead, from the kind of person that I want to be?
Wow. Sometimes I wonder, like, did this guy just study my last year of life and make this video? Like, this is exactly what I'm going through right now. Like, I'm 21 years into recovery so far, 20 plus years, and over that time, the first 10 years were very devoted, hardworking, all about progress. Then the 10th to the 15th year, I kind of, went into the possessions and kind of lost my track. And then because of that, in the 15th to the 20th year, I really lost my way. I ballooned up in weight. I was basically playing video games 24/7. Like I'd wake up and I would have coffee, I'd jump, sit down, turn things on, and I was good for the day, you know. And I don't know. I went to I went through a lot, you know. And my ideal day today is seeing the sun. No, not even the sun, but the sun is the best. The sun is the ultimate. I love the sun, but waking up in the morning, feeling good, feeling content, feeling happy, no stress. You know, when you wake up and you suddenly remember all the problems that you're facing, and oh yeah, no, I don't know. About a year ago, I really sat down and thought, you know, John, what is it that you want out of this life? You know, John, you're almost 50, and you really, you know, time's coming short. You know, what are your dreams? And I thought, well, one of my dreams was always riding a motorcycle across Canada. And I did it. I did it. One of my dreams is, you know, having a family and we're working on that. You know, I have a daughter that's struggling and we're working on her. And, you know, I just want to wake up, feel loved, be loved, encourage, help grow, and just be happy. And that's it. I don't want fancy nothing. You know, I don't know. It's just weird. I just came to realize that life isn't about, you know, the biggest home, the biggest heating bill, the biggest truck, the biggest exhaust, you know, the most biggest wheels you can put on it, or, you know, it's about helping someone who needs help, who looks at you with the, you know, and you can feel the gratitude. That is what life is about. Yeah, it's not about that crap, that physical, that junk, that money, come and go, but love forever.
To be or to do? This is a key question. It comes to us from the great strategist John Boyd, who, as he mentored young men and women in the Pentagon, would see that you kind of can go down two paths in life. There's the person who wants to look important, that wants to achieve a high rank, that wants to be in the newspapers or on TV. And then there's the person who wants to quietly get things done. You know, I think it was Truman who said, it's amazing how much you can accomplish if you don't care about who gets the credit. To be or to do is largely about credit. Do you care about accomplishments or do you care about impact? Do you care about credit or do you care about getting things done? You have to ask yourself, am I trying to be an important person? Am I trying to accomplish important things? And this question is critical. To be or to do, how are you measuring your life?
Yeah, that's pretty important. Have you ever noticed that sometimes when somebody rich or somebody wealthy will do a donation to a major cause and it's all over the newspapers and it's all over everywhere, you know, oh look, you know, this person is donating this to this hospital. Oh, how lovely. They're donating 1 million of their $50 billion wealth. Someone told me one time that the person that gives without the person receiving knowing who gave it, that is generosity. Because if you give it just for the fact that others know, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. And I didn't really understand that because, you know, when you give, you know, you feel good. Like, you know, you want to tell people, hey, look what I, but it's not about that. It's about doing what's right. And if you're willing to do it, whether or not you get recognition, that means you're willing to do it for the right reasons. You know, I'm not saying to go give all your money away to the homeless or anything, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes someday if you see somebody really struggling, why don't you just help? You know, just reach out. I think you'll feel really, really good after doing it. And to do, you know, that's the biggest thing. You know, I used to always think, you know, oh, one day I'll get to getting losing that weight. One day, and then I just did it. I just started doing it, and that's the biggest thing in recovery is just not talking the talk and walking the walk.
Hillel said, if I am not for me, who is? And he said, if I am only for me, who am I? This, I think, is related to the idea of to be or to do. What's motivating you? Is it external accomplishments, or is it making a difference in this world? Yes, you have to fight for yourself, you have to stand up for yourself, you get walked all over. But if all you care about is protecting yourself, if all you care about is attention, who are you? I think about someone like George Marshall, who accomplishes so much, and perhaps his greatest accomplishment is turning down the command at Normandy. He didn't want his personal feelings to be taken into account. Again, to be or to do, but also, who am I for and who am I? Yes, he fought really hard to get where he was, to make a difference. But then he also knew that ego didn't matter in the end. What mattered is the team effort. There's a great expression I heard that says, if you play for the name on the front of the jersey, they'll remember the name on the back.
Yeah. I kind of went through this a lot in the last little while. It's like, if you don't live for something, you're living for nothing. And I really believe that. Like, I just don't want my life to be meaningless, Like, the people who help me in my life, I want to make sure that I always honor them and recognize them for what they helped do to me. And I think that's very important too.
What am I missing by choosing to worry or be afraid? One of my favorite books is The Gift of Fear by Gavin de Becker. And he says, when you worry, ask yourself, what am I choosing not to see right now? Right? We only have so much in the way of cognitive resources or time or emotional energy. How are you going to spend it? And then often by being anxious, by being worried, by taking things personally, by being afraid, we're taking our eye off the ball. And so I want you to see those emotions not just as unpleasant, but actively destructive, because they are. Stuff's going to happen in life that makes us emotional, but we have to realize that we're only compounding that by acting on those emotions.
Yes, that's the greatest thing that holds people back in recovery is the fear. Fear of what's going to happen. Am I going to do this? And sometimes that fear becomes overwhelming. But there's no better feeling than facing your fear. I'll just briefly last week I was jumped a couple people. And it went through a lot. I went through a lot. A lot of crap inside. But nothing gave me a better feeling than walking back down my road, and saying, look, here I am, I am not going anywhere. You can knock me down, but I'm going to get back up and I'm going to be coming right back. And that's the biggest thing. Don't let fear stop you. So many times in my life, I let fear stop me. The fear of failure, the fear of the unknown, the fear that someone else will do better, the fear of not being able to live up to expectations, the fear. We just have to remember. My counselor in Mission BC one time said, fear stands for false emanations appearing real. That's, like something it's not even real. You're making it real. We all have fight or flight. It's just be able to just ignore the flight and keep to the fight. You know, we can do it. You can do it. We can all do it.
Are you doing your job? This is a key question. When Sean Payton was suspended from the NFL for a year, he put up a big picture of himself in the Saints facility and 3 words. It said, do your job. This is a thing, I think it comes from Bill Belichick. But the idea is that everyone has a job in every moment. Sometimes that's a little job, sometimes it's a big job. But everyone has to know their job in an organization, in life. You gotta ask yourself, are you doing it? I think in the end we end up focusing on everyone else's job than our own because it's easier than doing our own. And that's why I like this question so much. Are you doing your job? And if you aren't, why not? And if you are, good, keep doing it.
Yeah, I think that's a good one, but it's also pretty straightforward. You just got to ask yourself, are you? I am. My job is protecting my family, helping my family. I'm going to help my daughter. I'm going to help my wife, my partner that has MS. I'm going to help myself. That's my job. My job is to take care of the family, and that's what I'll do. I also have jobs outside the house, yard work, whatever. But I think our jobs as men and leaders is to be the to be the head of the household, to be the protector, to be the person that provides, to be there when they need you. You know, that's all so important. If we're so involved with other things and other interests, you know, we got to ask ourselves, you know, am I doing my job?
What is the most important thing to you? What do you actually value? If you don't know what's important, how do you know that you're putting it first? And so to me, all the other questions of life come after you have asked and answered what the most important thing to you is in life. If you told me I could sell 10 times as many books, but it'd come at the expense of my marriage or my relationship with my kids, I'd say, screw that, right? Because I know the most important thing to me is how those things are in balance with each other. Yes, my work is important, but it's not the most important thing. You know, Seneca talks about this idea of euthymia. He says, knowing the path that you're on and not being distracted by the paths of the people whose crisscross yours. This is especially the people who are hopelessly lost. When you know what's important, when you know what you value, when you know where you're going, it makes it easy for you to ignore what doesn't matter and focus on what does matter.
Absolutely. Priorities. You got to make sure your priorities in life are right because I'm telling you, when you're on your deathbed and you're taking your last breath, there's no going back. There's no asking for that wasted time to spend with someone you love. It's that's it, man. It's over and it's done. You know, priorities. What are your priorities in life? Is it just to make money? Is it just to accumulate things? Is it just to coast by and do nothing and live off the coattails of other people who work hard? You know, you gotta really take a look. And yeah, priorities are everything. And I got I know my priorities, and I hope you will take a hard look and really see what's important in life.
Who is this for? This is a question as a creator you always have to know. Who are you making this for? I talk to so many entrepreneurs, business people, creatives who have no idea. They're just making stuff. They just hope it will find an audience. They go, oh, this is a book for smart people. You have to know who you're making this for. You have to know your audience. You have to know the market. You have to know human beings. That's why empathy is so important. Who are you making this for? Who are they? Where are they? What do they want? You have to know who this is for. So I always ask myself, whether making a video or putting out a tweet or writing a book, screw your hunches. Who is this for? Who are they?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm not doing this for anything else other than to try and reach my daughter. I'm doing this not just my daughter, but anybody who's suffering from addiction. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible affliction. You know, I don't know if this will work. I don't know if it won't, but I know one thing: it's worth the effort. And I'm gonna keep going. Some people may disagree. Some people may laugh. Some people, you know what? I can't remember how it goes. Mock me, block me, da da da. But you'll never stop me. And you know that's the truth. And
Does this actually matter? Right? So many of the things we're upset about that we hold on to, that we focus on, they don't matter. Not to you, to anyone at all. They just don't matter. Marcus Aurelius says, ask yourself at every moment, is this essential? This is because most of what we do and say is not essential. He says, when you eliminate the inessential, you get the double benefit of doing the essential things better. Stephen Colbert loses his father and several siblings in a plane crash as a young man. He said what he took out of this was a question from his mother. She said, can you look at this in the light of eternity? Does this matter in the big picture, right? Because so many of the things we trivially get upset about that we focus on, in moments of crisis, we get real clarity about and realize they didn't matter at all. People matter. Your loved ones matter. Doing your best matters. Everything else is irrelevant. And yet, that's where we focus so much of our time and energy.
oh, that's absolutely the truth, isn't it? Isn't that the truth? You know, it's pretty hard to really say anything to top that off, but I believe that. I believe as long as you do your best, that the rest doesn't matter. Like, you will be successful. If you continue to put forth an effort and constantly try, and if you fail or fall and you get back up and you brush yourself off and you continue going, nothing's going to stop you. Nothing. Not drugs, not anything. If you believe, you can do it.
Will this be a live time or dead time? That's something Robert Greene asked me when I was thinking about becoming a writer. I had like a year to kill before I could go do it. He said, what's this year going to be for you? Is it going to be a live time or dead time for you? Are you going to use every second, or are you going to sit around and be passive and wait? That came flooding back to me in the pandemic when we went into lockdown. Is this going to be a live time or dead time? What am I going to have to show for this, whether it's 2 weeks or 2 months or 2 years? What am I going to have to show for this period? A lifetime. Treat every moment like a lifetime, because while you have it, you're alive. But after it's gone, it's dead, right? Now is now. Can you use this time? What can you use it for? If you always choose a lifetime, then you're always getting better, and you're always moving forward. You're not wasting time. Seneca says, it's not that life is short, it's that we waste a lot of it. We kill time as time is killing us. And the truth is, you always have the ability to make the most of this moment. So often we choose not to because we don't ask ourselves this question.
Absolutely. I know during the pandemic, I think the pandemic was a lot, it really helped a lot of people realize what was important in life. And I remember thinking, I don't want to go to my deathbed and think all I saw was a screen, a video game screen, a phone screen, some screen. We're all surrounded by screens all the time. And yeah, everything changed. I had an extensive video game collection, PS5, PS3, PS Vita. Everything was gone. I bought a couple bikes, dropped 100 and some pounds, and I'm living again. It's awesome. This is what it's about. It's about I'm seeing parts of this island I've never seen before. I'm hiking. I'm walking. I feel good. I feel positive. Yeah, absolutely. Make it a lifetime,
Is
not
this
dead
who I
time.
want to be? Is this representative of the person that I see myself as, that I am trying to become? Or am I giving into my lower self here? Am I taking a shortcut here? Am I doing something that the person that I see myself as wouldn't do? Cheryl Strait says, you're becoming who you're going to be, so you might as well not be an asshole. When you do things, you have to ask yourself, is this representative of my character, of my priorities, of my values, of what I said is important to me? If the answer is no, you have to not do it. How we do anything is how we do everything. So you have to ask yourself this question, is this who I want to be? Every interaction, every situation, big or small, because it adds up in a way that nothing else can.
This was a huge lesson for me. It doesn't matter at the end of the day whether or not you're blood related. If you have family, you have family. And I had to go through this, and I had to look at myself and really say, what do you, who am I? Am I going to do the right thing? Like, I don't know. It's just you come into a time where you just you got to stand for something or live for nothing, and you just it's up to you. You can coast through this life and not have no importance, or you can stand up and make yourself I don't know how to say it, but you can make yourself feel good. You can make yourself know that you had influence, that you did, your character mattered, that you stood tall when everything else was coming against you. Whether it be family troubles, life troubles, any troubles, you stood tall, did what you had to do, and made your way through it. I don't know. I like watching these videos. They really help me reflect on myself, and they help me center myself and realize, what it is that's important to me and what it is that I want. We all want different things, but at the end of the day, all I want is a couple good friends, a very good family that loves me, that will always have my back, that I can always be there for, that they can look up to me and say, this man did this for us. We love him. And At the end of the day, you know, that's why I said to Briley one day, I said, if you're looking out over this point, thinking about me one day when I'm gone, then my job was done.
If I could give you one more question, a last question, a bonus question, if you will. It comes to us from Viktor Frankl, who survives the Holocaust, who writes the amazing book, Man's Search for Meaning. You know, he says, we ask, what is the meaning of life? But he says, actually, it is life that is asking us that question, and it's our actions, it's our decisions that provide the answer. Meaning is something we create from our actions, from our decisions, from our choices, from who we choose to be. These are the kinds of questions that if you ask often enough, you will provide, as Viktor Frankl says, the kinds of answers that make you who you're capable of becoming.
I'm going to end it there. It's just a few more seconds left there. But I just want to say, you know, it's up to you. Let's give your life meaning. Let's do it. Let's do it together. Let's quit. Let's at least address the issue of addiction, if that's what's in your life. And let's face it together. Let's do some things and create some actions, and let's work on this together. You know, there's a detox, Mount Herbert. There's treatment programs, Transition House, Lennon House. When I first came to PI, there was very, very limited services for addictions. 20 couple years later, there's a lot more options. You know, I think that if you really give it a shot, I think if you really gave it a shot and you listened and you just absorbed and then just applied, I think you'll be surprised. I think you'll be surprised at yourself. You know, if I can do, I really believe strongly that if I can do it, anybody can do it. But I did have good support in my life, and that can make a huge difference. And I will continue giving Ashley that support until she makes it. And you know what? I love you all. Happy 24, and remember, this moment counts.